This Premier League Matchday 4 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog has a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Thursday, September the 11th. We are here to handicap a full Premier League slate, Match Day 4, which takes place from Saturday lunchtime through to Sunday afternoon. Joining me, he's already put the wrong graphic up. Did you notice there, Barry? That was Antoine Semenyo and World Cup picks or something. Come on.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
I see what you mean, yeah. To be fair, I didn't have the ad reads ready. I started reading them and they weren't there. So that's 1-1. We've dropped one bollock each in the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Anyway, Baz, how you doing?
I'm tired, which is precisely why I've messed up the screens already. But there we go.
Why are you tired?
Because it's late for a start. And, well, what else? What else do you want to know? I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning, and here I am, 16 hours later. Oh, I'm just tired.
Fucking hell. Oh, it's going to be a long show. Barry's arrived full of enthusiasm, as always. I feel like this is a new start, Baz. This, like, the Premier League Match Day 4. Obviously, we've had the international break. I just feel like this is a chance to build some momentum. Feels like the start of the season, like, especially Newcastle, particularly.
I was going to say, from a Newcastle point of view, it certainly is.
Because we've got a Saturday at 3 o'clock, and like the weather's been nice as well. It's been so you feel like it's a sort of shirt sleeve weather. We've had 3 shit kickoff times: the Saturday lunchtime, the Monday night against Liverpool, which is always a harrowing experience, and then the Saturday tea time against Leeds. And personally, I missed most of the Saturday of week 1 and 2 because I was traveling. And then that last week, like Match Day 3, we absolutely hated. If you remember, we had a little strop because the football was shit, the VAR was shit, the picks were incredibly shit. So I feel like it's a little break. Newcastle have got new players in, got some new centre forwards to cheer on, and obviously the spectre of the transfer window and all that has gone away. So I do feel like a little bit of a reset here, Baz. Champions League starts next week, so no time to dwell on these Premier League picks either. We'll get 10 games done, and then Sunday night, Monday night, we'll be straight into an 18-game slate of Premier League stuff. So, I feel like it's a chance to really get our teeth into it, Baz, get some momentum going.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to another full week. It seems ages since the last lot. We've done okay with the international picks. The frustrating thing for me over the next week, Malcolm, is I will be in Newcastle on Saturday. I don't have a ticket for the match. I will be in Newcastle on Thursday, and I don't have a ticket for the match. So I am in the market very much for a Barcelona ticket, but whether that happens is very, very slim. I've put my application into that school in Dundee to see if I can get on their school trip.
They've taken them away, haven't they?
I think so. But yeah, I'm up Saturday. To be fair, I possibly there was a couple of tickets for Wolves came up, and I could have got them. But it's my mother's 70th on tomorrow, nice. Actually Friday. But we're out for a family meal Saturday night. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff for the family meal, so the Wolves game wouldn't really have worked. But I'm there Thursday night. So I might catch up for a beer possibly before the match if you're out.
Yes.
Because I might go and watch it in town or something, find somewhere with a bit of atmosphere.
Well, oddly enough, Baz, you probably could have had my tickets because I'm not going. I'm at tomorrow. Saturday, sorry.
Right.
So Bob wouldn't have been that arse. So Bob's taking his mate. Bob's taking Alfie. It's Alfie's birthday, but equally they would have happily not gone.
Yeah.
And you could have had my tickets, but you're not getting them for Barcelona.
I'll take the Barca one instead.
Sorry, no, that's
I'm
all right.
actually I'm in Liverpool next week, Monday to Thursday, traveling up Newcastle Thursday afternoon because I've got a funeral to go to on the Friday. So yeah, I just happened to be in town on the Thursday, but unfortunately without a ticket. But yeah, I'm in Liverpool whilst they're taking on Atletico Madrid in the Champions League.
Okay.
So, it'll be tourist central around Liverpool again.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, population of Belfast will decamp to Liverpool as per usual. International picks were fairly bang average. I continue to be Tynesyde's premier African football analyst, Barry. Analyst is the word I'm using. Sierra Leone pissed up against Ethiopia the other day. The rest of it was a bit shit. I was rubbish in Europe. And then, fucking hell, I watched the South American games. So I boiled South America down to Venezuela and Bolivia, if you remember. They were the only two teams that had a chance. And I picked the wrong fucking one because I picked Venezuela at home to Colombia, who got beat 6-3 at home. And I ignored Bolivia. We talked about it in the chat. People run about the chat. Bolivia actually, they used to play in La Paz, which was a gazillion feet above sea level. They've actually moved to another stadium even higher just to make it harder. And they won. They beat Brazil and they were 3-1. So I feel like I left one out there because I had sort of the right idea, wrong pick. But I know it's like a common thing that people say that the South American football is just nuts, but fucking hell, I put it up. So Ecuador, Argentina kicked off at midnight. So I put that on the telly. Everything else kicked off at past. So I was watching Venezuela, Colombia, but I had the little Bet365 box on. So when it goes suspended, because something's happened, I was clicking on whichever game had gone suspended. And so that Argentina-Ecuador match, first half was 58 minutes long. Otamendi got sent off. Penalties, just mayhem. And then every time something went suspended, so I clicked on the game, it was 21 people surrounding the referee and one bloke over there just rolling around the floor in whatever game it was. Didn't matter. Chile, Paraguay. So I was trying to see how Bruno G was getting on, so I would click on that. And then I was seeing if Miggy was playing, so I would click on Chile or the Uruguay game, whatever. And whichever one you clicked on, all times, 21 people surrounding the referee and someone over there holding their face. And that is what the South American qualifiers were. So it's not a myth, Barry. They're just all fucking lunatics. Did you pick any winners?
I sneaked one in on the Norway game. I took Norway -3 on the handicap. That just sneaked in, finishing 11-1.
11-0? 11-1?
11-1, I think it was in the end.
Yeah.
They definitely scored 11. So yeah, that handicap came in well. Portugal was a push. I took them -1 on the handicap and they won by 1. And the only loser for me was the Ireland. Took Ireland and they got done over, didn't they?
Northern Ireland.
Republic.
Republic. Yeah.
We both took them, I think, didn't we?
They got smashed off Armenia, the divvies.
Yeah.
Say hello to people in the chat. Joe continues trying to wind me up. Joe Dollar, welcome along. Francis just saying that he thinks the Premier League's been like disappointing. And this is kind of why I like this reset. That I think I'm hopeful as well that it gets a bit better, that we enjoy some more games, we see some more goals. Because I feel the same as you, Frank. It has been a bit shitty. Michael Roberts has joined us. Andy Williams is here. Andy Williams was not helping at all when I was trying to run the line last night in Newcastle East End v Newcastle West End. 4-0 East End. That finished. Smudger's here. Welcome along. I think that's everyone so far. If you are in the chat, Danny. Danny Midler and Bob D were here first in. If you are here and want to say hello, there's quite a few people lurking. So, Bazza, full slate. So we need to get on with it. I keep forgetting we can't just talk bollocks for the entire hour when we've got actual 10 games to handicap because it takes us quite a while. Do not forget, we are brought to you by Metaspins Sports. This is our unique and highly important sponsor. So go and do what I say now. Metaspin Sports is your destination for crypto sports betting. Sign up today, get a 100% risk-free bet Plus, you'll also receive a $25 bonus on your first deposit. Get started today at metaspins.com/sports. That's metaspins.com/sports. We're going to start on Saturday lunchtime. So there was some managerial news, but it does affect this first game. So we can talk about it as we go. This is the 12:30 kickoff, which is 7:30 Eastern time, between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Arsenal lead us off here at 2-5, -250. The draw's at 4-1. Nottingham Forest are out at round about 7-1, I think, actually, now. Nottingham Forest. And obviously the big news is the mad Greek criminal has sacked Nuno, for what reason we don't know, and appointed Ange Postecoglou. So that's all back again. We thought we got rid of him, didn't we? We quite enjoyed him in a way. He was fun, if nothing else. I don't really understand any of that. The one thing, so Nibs messaged me. Nibs is our Nottingham Forest correspondent. The first thing he was complaining about was the prices of their Europa League tickets, which is more than our Champions League tickets, by the way. So they're playing it home to like Fredrikstad or someone, and we've got Barcelona, and their tickets are 15 quid more than ours. But this Forest team is just not set up at all to play how Ange Postecoglou plays football. Like, I can't see where this ends, because it's either going to take him forever to get the players out. And you know what Ange's like? Ange's every week, one of his USPs is, I'm not changing. I won't change. This is what I'm going to do. Get fucking used to it. That was his motto for the entire season. So, like, the two big defenders for Forest, I like him. I like Murillo and I like Milenkovic. But that suicidal high line, they are not pacey, sort of athletic, mobile defenders. Like, Murillo's got some athleticism about him, but he's not quick particularly. They're going to get fucking, it's really head scratching. Like, they got Anderson, Gibbs White, whatever. I just don't know where this is going to, like, I don't know how it's going to pan out at all. And my gut feeling is not very well. It's the short answer. We were quite scathing about Arsenal after that 1-0 defeat against Liverpool last time for being too passive. Saka and Saliba continue to be out here. The picking a bet is tricky, mainly due to the Forest situation. I don't know what attitude to expect, particularly off the Forest. New manager bounce. Is that a thing in this situation? Are the Forest players going to be slightly down about what's happened? So I don't know how Forest are going to react. That's a question mark. I don't think this is a good spot for Nottingham Forest for all sorts of reasons. Arsenal are going to sneak a late second goal, Barry, and win 2-0. Arsenal on the handicap is a smidge over even money. It's 21-20. You can get a plus 107 over the water. I think Arsenal can put them to bed fairly comfortably, Baz.
Yeah, don't mind that at all. Arsenal are obviously underwhelming last time out in a 1-0 defeat against Liverpool, but I think we can probably expect them to be a bit more on the front foot in this one at home against an Ange Postecoglou team. As like you, no idea what that is all about. I mean, considering how well they've done last season, for Nuno to get the sack so soon after is absolutely bonkers. And I don't think many Forest fans are particularly excited about Postecoglou. As soon as the Nuno sack news came out, I messaged a mate of mine and said, Mourinho or Ange? And he replied and said, no, it will be Marco Silva, was his response. And then about six hours later, Ange Postecoglou was walking in the building. So, yeah, bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Anyway, Arsenal, back to Arsenal. They won their only home game so far, 5-0 against Leeds. And they've conceded just the one goal in their 3 games so far. So both teams to score nose hit in all 3 of their games. Forest have been somewhat unpredictable, although I think you'd say the first 2 games were probably fairly predictable. A win at home against Brentford, who were going to struggle, and a draw away at Palace seemed a fair start. But it's that loss last time out, 3-0 to West Ham, who had been absolutely horrible in the games building up to it. Leaves a few question marks where Forest are concerned. But also that unrest behind the scenes. You mentioned how do the players feel about it all? Because most of them can't be happy when, it's one of them where a manager goes because he's been shite. players will move on quicker. When a manager goes and there's no good reason behind it, then there's every chance players are a little bit peeved about it all. But we'll see how that all unfolds. And I think obviously Ange coming in will divide opinion. One thing's for sure, I think he'll have a very short grace period there. I think if he gets off to a bad start, I can see fans getting on his back very quickly, because I don't think many of them are particularly excited about the appointment. So I think he's on a short leash. He'll need to get off to a good start. And I'm just not sure where Forest go from here. It'll be interesting to see how Ange sets them up. You've mentioned it doesn't seem to suit what Forest do. They've been built on the defence and the counter-attack. And it just flies in the face of everything we've seen from Ange at Spurs in the last year. So yeah, massive upheaval as well in terms of the numbers coming in. They've not even got room for them all in the European squad. They've had to leave one or two out because they've got that many new signings. Some good names coming in, but it just remains to be seen where their strongest lineup is as well. I think it might take a little bit of time for that to iron itself out. So loads of reasons really to think Forest are a strong avoid at the moment. Like you, I think Arsenal will win it. I've gone a slightly different way. I think it'll be low scoring. So Arsenal win, low scoring. You said 2-0. That'll work just fine for me, because I've taken Arsenal to win to 0 here. 6-5 for me. As I say, Arsenal have only conceded 1 so far this season. Forest possibly a little bit out of sorts, and Arsenal will win to 0. I'll co-sign your 2-0.
Okay, team ride. Joe Dollar thinks Arsenal on the handicap. Couple of new faces in here. Cameron Mandia. This is his first time in the live. Cameron, welcome along. And Machina Joe as well. Machina wants Lego head to batter and Postecoglou. So welcome, Joe. Good to have you. Pete's in as well. Pete's picks. We nearly won £270,000 this afternoon until all the horses lost. But the 20-1 winner in that. I put that stupid Super Heinz on, like a 10p each way Super Heinz. There was a 20-1 winner in there, and then a 3-1 winner. And I thought, here we go. And somehow it settled for like £11.70 something or something. So anyway, long story short, lost 13 quid. But follow Pete's picks on Twitter, because they have been good and they have been winning. Just don't put them in Super Heinz's like me, stick to stay single and be selective. 3 o'clock kickoffs. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3 o'clock kickoffs. The first of which is Bournemouth against Brighton and Hove Albion. Bournemouth are 29-20. The draw 13-5 plus 260. And Brighton are 9-5 plus 180, Barry.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like this one. There was a few, to be fair, that were similar to this, where I wasn't immediately drawn to anything. But Bournemouth have obviously had a solid start. Probably unlucky not to be unbeaten at this stage, having lost late on against Liverpool before beating Wolves and then Spurs. Spurs win looked good, given how well Spurs had been prior to that. Spurs had started the season well, and I think that the Bournemouth win there was good for the Bournemouth form line. And back-to-back clean sheets as well, encouraging for Bournemouth, given the wholesale changes in their defence this summer. I thought it might be an area where they might struggle a little bit, at least till they got a sort of settled back line. But yeah, back-to-back clean sheets for Bournemouth is a plus. Brighton were quite underwhelming to start the season before beating City last time out. Prior to that, they'd lost to Everton, drew with Fulham. And I came to it and I didn't have any strong feelings either way. And there's no outcome in this that would be a massive surprise to me. And there was no real leans either in terms of goals. Brighton were always a team you'd look to for goals in the past when you were struggling for anything else. But the overs is a short price. And then you've got Bournemouth who've just saw out back-to-back 1-0 wins. 2-0 defeat in the Cup as well. So 3 in a row have went under for Bournemouth. And Brighton in the league have went under in 2 of their 3. So there isn't anything to suggest it's necessarily going to be full of goals. In the end, I struggled a little bit. I thought the 2 were close enough in the betting to just take the home team at a decent price. I think Bournemouth have had slightly the better start to the season as well. And I think 11-8 a fair price for them. So I'll take Bournemouth to win at 11-8.
Yeah, you're saying that people are instinctively thinking it's going to be a goal fest, which I think you look at the two teams and what you know about them for the last 3 years. You do think goals. Joe Smudger in the chat there are both saying BTTS and over 2.5. But then you looked at the numbers and I couldn't get there, Baz. I thought the same as you. Bournemouth have been slightly head-scratching. The 4-2 against Liverpool, but then 2 1-0 wins, Wolves and Spurs. They're good. I like the manager. I like lots of their players. Brighton, 1-1, drew 1, lost 1. 2 disappointing results, and then a home win against Manchester City. But I'm going to side with that small sample data size, Barry, that you just gave us. This is priced like goals are an absolute given. Bournemouth, back-to-back 1-0 wins. 2 out of 3 went under. Brighton, 2 out of 3 went under. I watched Bournemouth in the League Cup, and they were particularly expansive. The Brighton's only over came with an 89th minute winner last time out as well. So not a load of goals, under 2.5, 6-5, plus 120. I think a lot of people will be zigging. So I'm going to have a little zag here, Baz. Let me tell you about... Where are we going? I'm going to scroll up here. I'm not very good at this. MyBookie.ag is your place to bet on football and everything else. The prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag. Promo code PLGP for a 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. Mybookie.ag. Promo code PLGP. And Rhythm, fully primed for NFL. Better than ever. Really good ATS last year. Really good on the player prop markets as well. There is the leaderboard with weekly cash prizes. If you track your bets in the app, just track 5 bets of the same type and you can win $1,000. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Next game on the board, 3 o'clock kickoff. Crystal Palace take on Sunderland. Crystal Palace my notes are fucking all... They're in no sequence whatsoever. I've got no chance here. Palace are 13-20, minus 153. The draw is 29-10, plus 290. Sunderland 17-4, plus 424. Palace are on a long unbeaten run. They haven't lost since Pussy was a kitten. Like, the dates all the way back to last season as well. And so far, they've been impressive. I think this year, Sunderland are playing their first real opposition. The 2 wins have flattered them, Baz. I'm still not fucking having it. And not just because we hate them. They've well overperformed their XG. And their only away game so far, they lost 2-0 to Burnley. Palace can cover the handicap here. Palace are a proper football team. Sunderland got beat off Burnley. Pure form line. Palace on the handicap's gigantic. Palace at 7-4, plus 175 to cover 1.5. Pass.
Yeah, if you can open up the Asian handicap market for me there, because I have got a pick here, but I don't know the price because I couldn't get on Bet365 before.
Okay.
But as you've mentioned, Palace remain on a ridiculous unbeaten run now. 14 games in total. They've not lost. And they started the season with a tricky start here as well. They've had Chelsea, Forest and Villa. So 3 of the last season's top 7 sides. I know Villa and Forest appear to have dropped off a little bit. But still, to come away with 5 points, still unbeaten, really solid start. And I think they probably consider themselves a little bit lucky not to have more, given that, probably a little unlucky not to have beaten Chelsea. Sunderland, as you've mentioned, favourable start for them. West Ham, Burnley, Brentford. 3 teams all tipped to struggle at the start of this season. You can only beat what's in front of you, and they've beaten 2 of them. But I like you, I think this is a big step up, particularly away from home. Palace haven't lost at home since February, so over 6 months since they lost a home game. 8-13 is a little bit short for Palace. So like you, I went to the handicap market, but I've played it slightly safer. I went for the -1 on the Asian handicap. I'm assuming it's a price of around evens or 5-4, something like that.
It's 11-10, but
11-10. I think it's a decent price. You've got that little insurance there compared to Malcolm's bet, where a 1-goal win will give me a push. So I'll take Palace on the Asian handicap -1 at 11-10.
Andy Keynes has joined us in the chat. Andy, hello mate, how you doing? He wants Palace as well. Lacey is Palace to win in under 4 goals. Sunderland have only played wank teams, apparently, which is a lovely, concise handicap from Smudger. Thank you very much. Next game on the board is... Go back now because you made me change pages, Baz. Everton taking on Aston Villa is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Just for reference, if any of you are live score or goal.com or FootMob users, you can get full 90 minutes commentary on Everton versus Aston Villa from me, which will be an absolute fucking treat for everybody. First Premier League game on Saturday, Baz. I'm excited. What are we doing? Everton 7-5 plus 140, 23-10 the draw. Aston Villa are 2-1, Baz.
Yeah, this is a horrible one, really, because I'm always happy. It's easy. Well,
yeah,
we'll see where you've landed, whether you've been able to pick a side. I'm always happy to try and find a way to oppose Everton generally. But based on what we've seen Villa so far, you can't trust them at any price at the moment. They've yet to score a goal, just 1 point from their 3 games. Well beaten last time out against Palace, at home as well, that was, where Villa Park used to be a bit of a fortress for a while. And defeats to Brentford and... Well, Brentford, first of all, who otherwise have struggled. Brentford lost to Sunderland, but still managed to beat Villa. So a really, really underwhelming start for Villa. Low scoring is the standout in the Villa form line. 6 of the last 7 competitive games have went under 2.5 goals. And 8 in a row, Villa games have gone both teams to score no. Now, obviously, those sort of streaks have got to end somewhere. But the both teams to score no was something that appealed initially here, because it's also hitting 3 of the 4 games Everton have played this season. Everton looked awful in the first game against Leeds, but they bounced back well, beat Brighton at home, beat Wolves away. And on form, Everton might be tempting for people here as a pick, just because Villa have been so underwhelming. But I just couldn't get there. I don't trust Everton. I still don't trust Everton. And Villa's goal scoring troubles was the main reason why I was looking at the low scoring. Tempted by that, both teams to score no at evens. But I went a bit safer, because I don't see, if the both teams to score no hits, I don't see it being a 3-0 or a 4-0 either way. So I'm just going to take the unders at a shorter price. It's 4-5, but the under 2.5 goals here at 4-5 is something I like. As I say, Villa have got no goals in them at the minute, and Everton can always be a bit shot shy in front of goal, let's say.
I think I fancy Everton, but
you thought you made.
Again, it's not... I don't really know what happened to Everton at Leeds. That's the weird one. The 1-0 defeat at Leeds. Because the next 2 games have been really good. In good form, line wins as well. Home against Brighton. I thought they were decent. Away against Wolves. They've scored 5 times. Machina Joe's just saying the Grealish can make Villa cry here, because they have got some better players up top. Grealish, Njai, and what's old hyphenated McGee. That's him. He's all right as well. They've got better players than they had last time out. So Villa haven't scored a goal. Nothing that happened on the transfer deadline helped that malaise around Aston Villa. They signed that little knobber, Harvey Elliott. That changes fuck all. Jadon Sancho, whatever. They're just very, very off colour. And I think this Everton team in this new stadium is the last place you want to go. Like Villa could have done with any other fixture, really. This is an ideal. I'm going to take Everton, as happened very often over the last couple of years. I'm going to take Everton at 6-4 plus 150. Lenny's joined us. Lenny, how you doing? Michael Roberts he thinks Villa are going to win. That's ridiculous. And Smudger reckons it's all about Everton as well. Next game on the card, we continue at 3:00 with Fulham against Leeds. Fulham are 19-20, minus 105. Fucking notes. Sorry, Baz. I can give you the prices here on the Pittsburgh Pirates at the Baltimore Orioles, if that's any good. The draw is 5-2 plus 250. And Leeds are 31-10 plus 310. Is this me or you?
It's you.
Oh, I found it. This was an easy pick. So this was top of my notes. I'll tell you why my notes are messed up. What I did this time, I've been making them in installments since Monday. So what I did was I looked at the board of 10 and I just picked out the easiest game. I thought, I'll do that one. And so I did them in terms of easy to difficult. I did the tricky ones last. And this was top of my list, making it the easiest pick, because Danny's right. It's a Fulham money line play. I'm still quite sweet on Fulham, even though they've only got 2 points. They've had 2 decent draws, and then got absolutely chinned by the VAR at Chelsea. Now, I've just mentioned that Leeds win over Everton is the head scratcher. But what I've seen since, I'm confused by how they did beat Everton, because that's the penalty in that game is the only goal they've scored in 3 games. They were miles away from Arsenal. They were in a different planet to Arsenal, where they got humped 5-0. And they were dog shit against Newcastle. Newcastle were equally dog shit. It's already been mentioned in the chat how bad that game was. Now, Fulham money line is 9-10, but the Fulham team total is a bigger price than Fulham to win. You can get even money on the Fulham team total. I don't think they're going to win this 1-0. I'll take the Fulham team total, Baz. I'll probably regret it because they will win 1-0. But yeah, this was my banker. If you're playing a survivor player or a last man standing, I'd be sticking Fulham in. If I wasn't already knocked out, Baz, I'd be putting Fulham in. But yeah, Fulham are lock worthy here. The team total over 1.5 even money.
Yeah, we're all over this as well. I wrote first things, one of the most straightforward picks on the card for me here, because I saw the Fulham price and immediately I was set on that. And the more I looked at it, the more I felt it was the right pick. I thought Fulham were unlucky in defeat last time against Chelsea, with decisions not helping them. And they've taken points from Brighton and Man United. Could easily have come away with all 3 in either of those games, were competitive in both. And in amongst that, they've had a home win over Brentford in the Cup, who are a better side than Leeds. Leeds have been underwhelming. Everton on day one was obviously the odd one, as you've mentioned. But after that, they've took a battering off Arsenal. And they were poor against Newcastle. Granted, Newcastle were equally poor, but neither side was ever going to score in that game. And they've scored only 1 in their 3 games so far. They've also got a load of injuries this weekend. The keeper's injured, Ampadu injured. A few of the forwards are doubts as well. Pirro and Nmecha, Okafor are all carrying injuries. So there's quite a few injury doubts around Leeds. It might be a low scoring one. Fulham might nick it 1-0, 2-0. But I think Fulham at home at close enough to evens is a perfectly good price. I didn't have the price because I couldn't get on 365. So do you say what, 10 to 11?
To win outright, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take Fulham at 10 to 11 as my pick here.
Absolute team ride in the chat. Everybody wants either Fulham team total or just Fulham. We'll get onto the exotics here, but Fulham handicap. So yeah, it sounds like a recipe for disaster. 3 o'clock kickoff is a game I will not be at. Neither will you, Baz. You haven't got a ticket. Newcastle United to take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Newcastle United are 11-25, -227, 7-2 the draw, +350. Wolves 13-2, +650, Baz.
Yeah, I think this feels like a good fixture for Newcastle after a below par start. Coming up against Wolves, 0 points from 3 games. They've conceded 8 goals. The only positive being the home win in the Cup over West Ham. Newcastle have had 2 draws from their 2 away games, and they were a little unlucky to come away with nothing from a tricky home game against Liverpool. I thought they played well enough against Villa and Liverpool, very poor against Leeds, but the main problem there was that lack of attacking threat. Never looked like we were going to score. I think we can be taken and get back in the win column here. There was lots of distraction around the club prior to the window closing. That's all gone. Squad looks stronger now. We've got depth all over the place. And 2 strikers ready to go. Just plug them in and off they go. I think Wissa will start this weekend. And it feels like a great game to introduce him against a team like Wolves who are conceding plenty of goals. I didn't think much about this one. I think Newcastle on the handicap, -1.5. It's at 6-5. I'm confident Newcastle will get off and running here with a win. So I'm going to take Newcastle -1.5 in the handicap at 6-5.
Serial has joined us. Serial and Joe, like a tag team. What? Joe will leave me alone for 5 minutes, and then Serial just jumps into the ring and starts trying to wind me up. It does feel like the first day of the season. We've got new players. It's just a shame we've wasted 3 games fucking about in the transfer market, and consequently, we've got 2 points. XG would have Newcastle 3rd in the table, Barry, at this point. However, we didn't score any actual G, which is the problem. But I think we can fix that at the weekend. Hopefully, I think it will be Wissa rather than Big Nick up front. Wolves, torrid start, pointless. 3 different kinds of defeat as well for Wolves, if you know what I mean. They've got a worrying lack of quality. This is a good spot for Newcastle. Home, Saturday at 3 o'clock after a run of 3 dog shit kickoff times. New faces, poor opposition. Newcastle to score in both halves, Baz. Wissa was good in the international break. Looked really lively for DRC. So yeah, Newcastle scoring both halves is a pick we often go to if we fancy a comfortable home win sometimes. So 6-5, Baz. That one is plus 120. Cormac Gillespie has joined us. Matty Cash yellow against Jack Grealish. That's actually a great angle, and we do like a yellow card play. I've seen Cormac. Cormac's quite high up in the old prediction league, Baz, which I'll remind everyone. Get your picks in the prediction league. If you haven't joined yet, join, because you can win the monthly prize starting again this week. So it's predictaddict.co.uk with the league code 43445. Cameron, who won last month, Cameron messaged me over the last couple of days, and we're sorting out his merch voucher, his merch for the SGPN merch store. So good luck there. JB Leeds has joined us with a very fair appraisal of Leeds United in the chat. Welcome, JB. Nice to have you. Barry, as you well know, it is time, Barry, for kick-off. Is that Dan Williams in the chat as well? Go to bed, Dan Williams. It's got to be his dad, hasn't it? Barry, Leeds 1-0 in kick-off. Alessandro Alberino with a goal recently. I booted the ball up into his penalty area. You booted the ball back, Baz, last time out. We are in B5 in your half of the pitch, and it is my turn to... Let's have a look. I'm going to go, Barry. 2 up. I'm playing this. So 2 right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts that right into your 6-yard box, Barry. Right into your 6-yard box. This is my the most advanced I've been so far in this game. The ball is on I8, Barry, in your area. What you got?
I'm going to throw 3 to the right, so back.
Hang on a minute. This is Andy Williams' favourite bit. 3. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm done. Yeah.
And then 6 forward.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That advances the ball up to square number C4. Back into the heart of your midfield with, looks like Bobby Muscat, Baz, just bringing the ball out there for you. Ball is in C4 in the blue half. Barry leads 1-0. More of that to follow. Next game on the card is the 5:30 kickoff, tea time kickoff between West Ham United and Tottenham Hotspur. West Ham are 12-5 plus 240, 13-5 plus 260 the draw, and Tottenham are 11-10 faves plus 110. Baz, this is you, or is it me?
It's one of us. I think it's me.
Go on then.
I'll go.
Go.
Yeah, obviously a horrific start of the season for West Ham before they beat Forest. They'd lost 3 of 3, including their cup game, and conceded 11 in the process. So the 3-0 over Forest was a surprise, but also definitely the outlier. It certainly doesn't have me clamouring to take West Ham here after that one result. Spurs form mirrors that a little because they started with 2 really good wins, including 2 clean sheets, which were unusual last year for Spurs, before losing in quite an uninspiring manner against Bournemouth. Spurs have added to their attacking options in the window. They brought in Xavi Simons and Kolo Muani on deadline day, and I think they've got more than enough to see off West Ham here. The recent head-to-head isn't great for Spurs, though. They've won only 1 of the last 5 against West Ham. So rather than take them on the money line, Spurs, I've done what you did with Fulham, and I've taken them on the team total instead, just in case West Ham do what they've done recently against Spurs and come up with something. I think Spurs are a very backable price at around evens to win the game, but at 10-11 to score 2 or more, it's just a slightly better pick for me. I prefer that. So I've gone for Spurs team total over 1.5 Spurs goals at 10-11.
Yeah, before the last round of fixtures, this would have just been an autoplay on Spurs, wouldn't it? And then both teams completely flipped the form. West Ham winning 3-0 out at Forest completely out the blue, and Spurs shit the bed at home to Bournemouth. Wasn't out the blue because we always suspected that Spurs would do something like that. I'm just not sure about the form line of that West Ham win. We know strange things were afoot at Nottingham Forest. And remember, that was 0-0 after 83 minutes. Forest were trying to win that like they always do, kind of mangle it and win 1-0. And probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, they would have done that. They just so happened they didn't score a goal. And then all of a sudden, it's gone 3-0 out of nowhere. Like, it's not like West Ham dismantled them, scored 1 in the first half, and then 2 later on to win 3-0. They just sort of ambushed them in the last 7 minutes. I don't think it's solid form. And the 2 defeats before that were bad defeats. Tottenham lost to Bournemouth. That was the first bump in the road for Thomas Frank. That is going to happen. New manager, etc. Bournemouth were a good team as well, by the way. But the form line of that, Tottenham did lose to a good team. So this form line, Baz, West Ham's last home game, 5-1 defeat to Chelsea. Tottenham's last away game, a 2-0 win at Man City. Fucking hell. Poles apart, aren't they? Absolutely poles apart. No comparison. Tottenham at 11-10 plus 110. Andy Keynes has gone BTTS in that one. I don't think I've read this out. As if I've read this out before, stop me. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy pick'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favourite player stats. Play we like is Justin Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, even for the Jags, higher on his rushing yards this weekend. Brand new offer at Underdog. Play $5, get $50 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code PLGP. And finally, we're brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig's an exchange, so you know you're getting the best prices around. It's available in over 35 states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use the promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Nighttime game on Saturday, 8 p.m. kickoff. There's another London derby. Brentford take on Chelsea. Brentford are 7-2 plus 350. 14-5 the draw plus 280. And Chelsea 7-10 favourites minus 142, Baz.
Yeah, I'm at that point where I need to be a little bit careful with Chelsea. I got drawn into opposing them far too often last season and got let down on many occasions. And the reason for doing that last year was because I felt the results were flattering them a little bit. And I'm in a similar place here. They're unbeaten in 3 games, but I feel like they're probably a little bit fortunate to have the 7 points they've got. Fulham and Palace were both very competitive against them, but ultimately didn't come away with anything. Well, Palace got a draw, obviously. But Chelsea all find a way to grind out results even when they're not necessarily firing on all cylinders. And if you include the Club World Cup, they've lost only 1 of the last 13 games now and won 10 of those 13 games in 90 minutes as well. Brentford were really poor on the opening day against Forest, well beaten that day. Then saw off a struggling Villa side before failing to hold on to a lead against Sunderland. And I still think Brentford will be strugglers this season. I think Chelsea have got goals in them. They've scored 2 or more in 5 of the last 6 games. And they've been strong defensively. Chelsea as well, conceding only once in their 3 games so far. Also kept a clean sheet against PSG in the Super Cup. So 3 clean sheets in 4, actually 4 and 5. If you go back a little bit further. I think Chelsea are close enough here to being backable at the price. As I say, I still think Brentford will be strugglers. But once again, I'm going to jump into the Asian handicap. Chelsea -1 is going to be my pick. I just think they'll have too much for Brentford. I've got that little bit of insurance if they only win by 1. You can tell me what the price is if you've got it up there. But Chelsea -1 Asian handicap, I'm assuming will be around evens again.
Give me 5 seconds, Baz. Chelsea -1 is 6-5, Baz, plus 120.
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
I'm going to go chalky, much chalky. I'm just going to take Chelsea outright. Brentford's result last time at Sunderland was poor. Their 3 points came in a home win against Aston Villa, which is questionable form. Chelsea, not very convincing, which sounds a bit daft because they have got a 5-1 win at West Ham in there. But the home draw against Palace wasn't great. And then they were lucky last time out against Fulham. I just think Chelsea are going to win. It's really that simple. And it's 7-10. It's not a prize-winning pick, but so you can stick it in some hackers. And if you bet them, it'll pay out. So, yeah, Chelsea at 7-10, minus 142. James Maffey has joined us. James, nice to see you. Welcome along. Next up so we're on Sunday now. That 8 games on Saturday. That's fun. 2 games on Sunday. The early kickoff is 2 p.m., which is a 9 a.m. Eastern time. Kickoff between Burnley and Liverpool. Burnley are 7-1. The draw is 9-2 plus 450. And Liverpool are 3-10 minus 333. This is high up on my list, Barry, of easy picks. I don't know. I don't see how Liverpool aren't 2 goals better than Burnley. Burnley conceded 3 times against Tottenham. They conceded 3 times against Manchester United. They did keep a home clean sheet against Sunderland, but Sunderland aren't Liverpool. That's not a comparison game for this one. Liverpool are a couple of goals better. And then you can always add one for luck. Do you know what I mean? You can add in the spawny fucking last minute, whatever bastard deal with the devil they made. So the 2 goals better anyway. And then the lucky one is 3. Great price this. Liverpool on the handicap is 7-8, minus 114, Baz.
Yeah, similar thoughts. Liverpool have continued to pick up points despite not being anywhere near the best against Bournemouth, Arsenal or Newcastle. But they probably don't even need to be anywhere near the best to come away with another win here. The concerning thing for Liverpool prior to the Arsenal game was the goals they were conceding. But they did get a clean sheet there last time out against Arsenal. So that puts those worries to bed a little bit. Still feels like an area where they might be vulnerable, having not done enough in terms of transfers in that position. They didn't get the Gahey deal done on deadline day. But I just don't know if Burnley are going to be the team to be able to exploit that. As you say, Burnley have got a win over Sunderland. That doesn't necessarily factor into it much here, because then they've went and conceded 3 against Man United, conceded 3 against Spurs. So I think you can forget any idea that Burnley are going to continue to be tight at the back as they were last season in the Championship. If you're conceding 3 to Man United, that's not the case, obviously. So I wanted Liverpool here. They're 1-3, so you've got to find somewhere to go with it. The 1-0 didn't appeal because I just don't like Liverpool's defence in terms of taking them for the clean sheet. It's not to say they won't get one. So handicap or team total was where I looked, and I went the other way. I actually think they'll hit both of them. I think Liverpool will win by 2 or more, but I think they'll score the 3 goals as well. And it's a slightly higher price. I'm taking Liverpool team total to score 3 or more at 5-4. Liverpool got plenty of attacking options with Gakpo, Salah, Ekitike. I think they'll inflict a bit of pain on Burnley and hit at least 3. Liverpool over 2.5, team total 5-4.
Nice Baz. Coisty's joined us. Coisty, Okai, etc. Welcome along. 1 game left here. That was quick. 16:30. Why the fuck did I say 16:30? 4:30 kickoff time. 11:30 Eastern between Manchester City and Manchester United. Man City are 3-4. They drifted a little bit, but a line movement here. 3-4, minus 133. They were up originally at 13-20. Minus 150. So yeah, big drift on Man City. 31-10 the draw, plus 310. Man United were 7-2 plus 350. Are now, 16-5 plus 320. So the money is for Manchester United. Baz, where are you going?
Well, I didn't like this one at all. After back-to-back defeats for Man City, I think they've got to be a fade, particularly at 8-11, even at home, even against Man United. No appeal whatsoever there. Man United were fortunate to pick up the first win against Burnley with a very, very late penalty. And they've continued to be thoroughly underwhelming. But I do go back to what I said when they played Arsenal and they lost 1-0 and everyone got a little bit carried away because they played quite well against them. These games were the ones last season where Man United turned up and managed to compete. And actually, they won the head-to-head battle against City last year. They won at the Etihad. In this game, they won 2-1. And then they drew at Old Trafford. City haven't beaten Man United in 90 minutes for 4 games now. And it's, as I say, we've seen it a few times last season with Man United where they managed to pick up results in the games where you least expected it. I think plenty of reasons to oppose City. Obviously, I'm not stupid enough to back Man United either. They lost to fucking Grimsby, for God's sake. Goals was my immediate thought here. Both teams to score sprung to mind. That is a short price, so you would need to tag on the over 2.5 to get a price here. But I think that's fine. There's no doubt Man United have got more threat going forward this year. City can certainly be got at in defence. So I'm taking sort of Man United to get a goal at least, and then City are going to have to play their part. But I think City might nick it, 2-1, something like that. But the pick for me is going to be overs and both teams to score at 10 to 11.
I'll tell you who is stupid enough to take Man United, Barry. Me, this guy. I'm taking Man United and Everton on the same show, which I think has never, ever, ever happened before. I don't think taking City at 4-6 lately seems like a good idea. Back-to-back defeats against Tottenham and Brighton. Could you put them up as possible comparison games as well for Man United? Man United won 1, drew 1, lost 1. Even though they were second best against Arsenal, they stayed in it. You did say they have this habit of being staying in these games. They were a tough out against Fulham. And they were the better team against Burnley. As annoying as it was, they scored that last-minute penalty. They did mangle Burnley for large parts of that game and probably should have beat them 3 or 4. Like, City are vulnerable on the break to a little bit of speed, and Boomo is rapid. He can cut through them. That Spurs game, Man City Tottenham, is a very good comparison. We held Man U and Tottenham were basically the same team last year, weren't they? Man U have had enough success against Manchester City lately. You mentioned all those league games. You got the FA Cup final as well in recent memory where they beat them. I'm taking Man United. I'm doing it, Baz. The annual pick of Manchester United, 7-2 plus 350, although they're not that price anymore. 15-4 plus 320 roundabout. I'm going to take Man United, Baz. Good effort. 10 games in the hutch, Barry. The exotic stuff, Barry, I'm going to allow Data Dave to lead off tonight because I've been getting to know him, Barry. I've been getting to know Data Dave because it's hard work. It's really hard work talking to you, Barry. I get no companionship out of you at all. Do you know what I mean? I'll send you a lovely long message about this, that, and the other, and you'll send back a fucking thumbs up. Like, I get a lot of thumbs ups off you. Okay. Like, your average words
it could
per
be a
message.
thumbs down. Couldn't it? I mean, at least the thumb is up and not down.
So, yeah, I get no companionship out of you. So, I've been chatting to Data Dave a lot. Now, Data Dave had a winner last time. So, I'll tell you what. He fucking talks the talk, does Data Dave. Data Dave is our AI expert, by the way. He's currently 1-1. He's up 0.2 of a unit. Classic Dave. He did say, I told him that he was ahead, and he said, you know me, this is where emotion goes to die. That was his exact words, Barry. Data Dave's talking himself up, where emotion goes to die. So I thought I'd introduce a new feature, Barry, which is get to know Data Dave. So I asked him, what he wears, like what he dresses like, just so we can get an image. And this is what he says. Plain grey polo, no logos, just breathable efficiency. I like that. An unbranded navy cap, worn backwards. And this last detail blew my mind, Barry. Digital watch. What's all that about? Data Dave is wearing a digital watch. So, yeah, get to know Data Dave. More from him next week. He is gone with, and the reason I started him off is he's gone Fulham to win, which was my lock. Fulham to win. It was everybody's lock. So it was your lock. It was the chat's lock. And Data Dave and his digital watch are absolutely all over it. So Fulham to win at 9-10 is my lock. I'm throwing out Manchester United as my dog because they dares, etc. Accumulator. Newcastle to win, Chelsea to win, Liverpool to win is 9-4. That pays plus 325. Steak and Stilton. Now, it's only 18-1, Baz. It's not huge, but it's an Asian handicap parlay. Because I think Palace can duff Sunderland up. I think Fulham are going to duff up Leeds. And I think Liverpool are going to duff up Burnley. It's the 3 promoted teams to lose by at least 2 goals, if you want to put it that way either. So that's an Asian handicap on Palace, Fulham, and Liverpool pays 18-1. Anytime goal scorer, there's only one course of action here. You have to take Johan Wissa, don't you? If your team's got a shiny new centre forward, I think it's rude not to bet him. 9-2 first goal. First and last, 13-10 plus 130 anytime. And you get the super sub if big Nick Waldemar comes on for him. So you get the 2 centre forwards, so you get a little bit of fun there. And I think, Baz, that is all of mine and Dave's plays. What have you got?
I've also got Fulham as my lock, obviously. My dog I've left blank. I've got no dogs. I don't fancy any of the dogs. And if you think I'm taking Man United, you've got another thing coming. My scorer is also Johan Wissa, 6-4 anytime, 9-2 first or last. My Cornbeef Pie is a team total treble. It's Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea to score 2 or more goals at 5-2. And then my Steak and Stilton is the same 3 teams to score 3 or more. So Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea to score 3 or more, 20-1 for that treble.
Oh,
I think
nice.
That's more than doable. That.
Ooh.
Sexy, so yeah,
that, Baz.
Yeah. So a little sort of ladder play. Take them both to score, all 3 of them to score 2 or more, and then all 3 of them to score 3 or more, 20-1 for the big Akka. And I'll finish off with my cards treble. Going back to the cards again this week, and got some nice prices here. Start off with Morgan Gibbs-White in the first game against Arsenal. The next one is Lukic for Fulham against Leeds. It was just a walk-in card. He got another one the other day against England.
I heard that on the radio and giggled when I was driving to Five-a-side.
And then the final one is Dewsbury Hall. We're going to take him for a card. He's a big price as well. I can't remember. I'm sure he was something like 5-1 Dewsbury Hall for a card, and he's already got 2, I think, in the 3 games so far. Yeah, he got booked against Brighton. He got booked against Wolves. 5-1 as a singles, nice for Kieran Dewsbury Hall. So Gibbs-White, Lukic, Dewsbury Hall, 77-1 for the cards treble. Obviously, take the doubles as well. If you get a little double in, which we did a couple of weeks ago, then that'll be a nice little payout either way.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Do you have any lifestyle chat? Anything you want to tell the people about?
No, I've just got too much going on. I'd say a lot of travelling. Travelling to Newcastle tomorrow. Travelling back to Nottingham on Saturday night because I've got kids football Sunday. And then Monday up to Liverpool. Thursday back to Newcastle. Friday back to Nottingham. It's a hectic week ahead. So schedule-wise, we better do Sunday night if possible for Champions League picks. So Sunday, hopefully.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that should be all right.
I mean,
I've got a
Champions League's Tuesday
Saturday,
night.
but Sunday's all
we
right.
could do with getting it out Sunday anyway. And then we'll have to wing it. I don't know what we're going to do for next week's Premier League picks, but Thursday night is not going to be no good for you.
Everyone always enjoys these live production meetings we do, Barry. That's got absolutely nothing to do with anybody else.
Got us to the hour mark, though.
But, yeah, well, there's never much time for chat when we're doing the 10-game Premier League card. I've been dehydrating stuff, Baz, but we haven't got time to talk about it. So put a pin in that, and we'll talk about it on the next episode. Thanks, the chat was absolutely buzzing tonight. There was loads of old faces and loads of new ones, and that excites me, so that's good.
Yeah,
like I say, I do feel like this is a line in the sand, Baz, a new start. So
yeah, Coisty did mention 22 people watching earlier, only 7 likes. So before you leave, make sure you give a thumbs up. We have had 3 new subscribers in the last hour, though, so that's all right. And leave us a comment. Maybe drop us a comment and tell us what you think Malcolm's been dehydrating.
That's a good idea.
Find out next time. So, yeah, comments on YouTube or Spotify. You've got to let us know what you think Malcolm's dehydrated in the last week.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of them. If
don't tell us
one of
any
them is
of them.
Impossible. You're definitely not guessing one. You might get one. You're not getting one. Is my prediction.
Is it your bamboo
One of the two will go. Right, we've clicked over the hour. You need to go to bed because you're tired, aren't you, son?
I'm very tired.
I'm having a day off tomorrow because I can, so that's fun. Thank you, everybody. Good luck with your picks. Enjoy all the football, and we will see you down the road. Cheers.